Running your own real estate investment business can be stressful, time-consuming, and difficult to manage. Where do you start? Why go out and try and reinvent the wheel when we have the answer? With our exclusive training program, we will teach you how to free up your time to build your business, develop your goals, learning where to find the money, how to find better deals, keeping track of offers, building a team, and developing a business plan that works for you. We at Real Impact Real Estate Training and Mentoring have all the answers for you. We have several plans to help you get your business to the next level. We have developed the best one-on-one personal training system in the industry. We have a proven structure that has been developed for more than 50 years through the purchase and sales of thousands of homes and commercial properties. We will help you set up and build your real estate investment business. Whether you are new to investing or you are a seasoned professional, we have a plan for you to customize your business to a method that works, is affordable, and fits your budget. With training modules like finding money, finding deals, learning how to get correct comps, building a team, short sales, subject twos, foreclosures, making multiple offers, understanding auctions, REOs, and tax sales, working to build your construction team, and finding sellers and buyers. Find your property management team, plus over 70 additional training modules to choose from. Sit down with us for a one-on-one consulting to see what training plan is best to develop your goals and to build your business by using the 5 M's of investing: mining, money, maintenance, marketing, and management. Wouldn't your life be great if you can live it on your own terms? We help you develop and structure your business to take massive action. Join the Real Impact Real Estate Training today. Change your life today with real estate investing.
Hi there, I'm Roger Pascal. I'm the CEO of Real Impact Training Systems. At Real Impact, we improve the quality of people's lives through real estate investing. Real Impact franchises provide you as a local real estate investor with networking and educational meetings. Our locations are franchised, owned by franchise owners in various locations throughout Texas and Oklahoma. In addition to our monthly meetings and our workshops, our franchise owners also offer a variety of one-on-one mentoring programs to help you no matter where you're at in your real estate investing business. If you're interested in learning more about our training options, please reach out to one of our franchise owners. You can find the franchise locations and contact information online on our website at realimpacttraining.com. Right there on the bottom of the screen, just click on the locations button in the middle of the screen. In a few minutes, several of our franchise owners will be joining us so you can meet them tonight. One of our primary objectives on each Sunday night is to provide you with an opportunity to ask questions about real estate investing and how to build your business. So on YouTube, if you are not subscribed to this channel, subscribe to it, and a chat box will open up and you can ask your questions on that chat box. So with that, there's no need to wait till next week or till Monday, tomorrow. You can just jump right in and put your questions in the chat, and we'll get answers for you. Tonight we've got a special guest that I'll be introducing here in a minute. But first of all, I'd like to bring on our franchise owners, Doug and Renee Toon. Welcome on board. And they have the Impact Longview, Texas, way out in East Texas. So Impact Longview. And then we have Tim and Gabi Lockhart, and they have the Impact Wichita Falls and Denton, Texas locations. And we're all investors. We all do this. This is what we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are y'all doing tonight?
Doing great.
Doing good.
Doing good.
Yeah. Welcome on the call. Well, I am just absolutely excited, ecstatic over having our guest speaker tonight, which is April Luce. April and I have known each other not a long while, but we've known each other for a few months now. April is a very active realtor, and her husband are very active in real estate investing. April is in the Mineola area, which is East Texas. So April, welcome to our call tonight.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
All right. So, April, tell us who you are and where you're at and where you do business.
So, I mean, you covered some of it. My name's April. I've been a realtor for the past 13 plus years, dabbled in investing throughout, and then really started being an active investor in the last year to 2 years. I work anywhere from Dallas out to Longview. I live in Ben Wheeler and work Mineola, Tyler, Lindale, as close to home as possible, but willing to travel. And yeah, I do a little bit of everything: the real estate sales, wholesaling, buy and hold, and flipping. So
very good. Awesome. Awesome.
That's awesome. So, April, how did you actually get into the business of investing?
It started through being a realtor. I worked in Houston and did a lot of land acquisition for developers. And so that kind of introduced me to that side of it, how they were turning profits that way. So I started just flipping land and then just got the bug that, I could do this myself. And I'm very much monkey see, monkey do. So I just kind of started copying that behavior and learning through people like Roger and YouTube and other people doing it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Does your husband work with you?
He does. So he is my behind the scenes consultant, I guess you could say. So everything we do together, I'm more upfront with it. He put his license inactive just because we were able to do everything through mine. And then he does a lot of the construction type work on some of the projects. So that's handy to have him for that too.
Yeah.
What kind of investments are you looking for?
So I am really interested in single family and multifamily to hold for rentals. I'm a student of Robert Kiyosaki and want that mailbox money, I think, like everybody else does, the financial freedom. So something that I can do, minimal work to, and that cash flows. I'm interested in mobile homes as well. And I'm really kind of been interested in creating this lately, getting a little piece of land and putting some RVs on it for rentals. So really, I'm interested in cash flow. Anything that cash flows is what I'm looking for.
Well, what are you doing right now? Tell us about your latest project.
So the most recent one that we picked up was 2 duplexes in Tyler. And it started out a project that I was going to wholesale. I didn't feel maybe quite ready to take it on myself. And so I was initially looking to just pass it off to another investor. As that progressed, it just became more interesting that I would hold it. And so we got it at a really good price, and it ended up turning to be a subject to property. And so got with a partner that I actually met through Roger's IMPACT meeting. And we kind of combined forces and took it down. So we just closed on that probably a week or 2 ago. And Zack's doing the renovations and turning tenants over. And so that's been a very exciting project that we've most recently worked on.
Very good. How did you find the sellers? How did you find their why? How did you find the reason they wanted to sell, and how did you fix their needs on that basis?
Yeah, so I've learned that is the most important skill. I think if anything out of real estate investing is to be able to learn what people need. And then if you can just bring value to them. So this one was unique. Most of my deals I do not find on the MLS. This one just so happened to be on the MLS. I had called, made an offer several months prior. They weren't interested at that point. So just followed up. And then finally, the agent reached back out, who ended up being the seller's brother. And we were able to just have some conversation. He explained to me that she was getting divorced, was liquidating everything, just over it. And she did have a certain number that she needed to meet. So if we could meet that number, we could make something happen. I use batch leads whenever I'm evaluating a property and always check to see if they have a loan on it. Because I'm still, I don't have endless amounts of money. So if I can do a creative deal, I'm going to certainly see if that's an option. And particularly hearing that she had some pain, which was the getting divorced and, wanting to be done with it. I thought it would be a good opportunity after finding out that they do have a loan on the property to present that as an option. So it was a bit of an education curve because realtors, I'm a realtor myself, but sometimes they are the hardest ones to communicate these creative alternatives with. And so there was that education process and being able to explain how this could actually really be a benefit to his seller / his sister. And after just luckily being, studying Roger and other people, I was able to articulate it well enough that yes, there are some risks, but here's how the risk can be minimized. And it actually turns out to be a huge advantage to her in this situation. We were able to agree on a number and finally got it under contract, and then the work started.
So did you feel like that building a relationship was a part of this whole process?
I feel like that's so important, especially in a creative situation, because there is a bit of a trust factor. It's foreign to them. They've got to trust what you're telling them is true. And building that relationship really comes from my intentions. My intentions is to truly help them and create a win-win. If it's a win-win, then I know it's going to be a much easier deal. So building that rapport in the beginning, then finding out their needs. Yeah, I mean, you are building a relationship throughout. So I was first able to do that with the agent, who fortunately was a family member of the seller. And then we ended up, because he was kind of like, look, I'm a brother. I'm kind of just helping. How about y'all talk? So now the seller and I, we've had lunch. I'm actually buying 2 other subject twos from that same seller just because we built such a good relationship with her. And she really understood, look, if it works, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I just want to make it a win for everybody. So relationships huge.
Yeah.
So how do you structure the deal, or how do you come up with how you structure the deal to the seller?
So first, like I said, I looked up if she owed anything on it. So then explained, well, I can pay you a little bit more. What you're asking is a little bit more than what I feel comfortable paying. However, here's how I'm able to do it. If I can keep your loan in place, I'm saving a lot of financing charges, lower interest rate, originate, all the fees that go along with creating a new loan. I would rather pay you that, Mrs. Seller, than, have to pay it to a lender so we can make this deal work. So for this particular one, I said, I'm going to take off your note from what you owe, and I'm going to pay you the difference in cash, because you wouldn't get that note anyway. So let me keep it and I'll pay you the difference. Right. So hers was just a very straightforward subject to with the equity paid in cash. Another one I did, I'll tell you really quick, which was really cool. I was doing driving for dollars, which is actually where the majority of my deals come from. I like to just get out, put eyes on it, skip trace it, and then call that way. I found a property in Tyler that did exactly that, called the seller. He lives in Rockwall, and this was his furthest away property. He drives trucks, so he's super busy. And this, I could tell by the way he was talking about it, this is a pain property because it's so far. He just doesn't want to deal with it, and he's too busy. So did the same thing, looked up if he had a loan or not on the property. He did. And then what I was able to do is pulled a number out of him somewhat. And what he was asking was market value, basically, for the property. So I said, here's how I can make this work. I know you like the income, but you're tired of being a landlord. Found out he didn't need the money. This was a huge factor in this structure of the deal. What I can do is something creative. I'll give you, I'll take over the note that you had, and I'll allow you to still make money. I'll allow you to still cash flow on the property by seller financing your equity. And that one ended up working out beautifully for him for those key factors, which I looked for first. He didn't need the money. He was pained by the property. It was just too far. He was tired of dealing, with tenants. And that eliminated those 2 issues for him. And he liked the cash flow. That one I ended up getting for 0 down, subject to the note at 4.5%, and then seller financed the equity at 4%. And we were all happy with it.
That's very good.
Wow.
That's awesome,
Excited
April.
about that one. Yeah.
So did you have you may have said this, I may have missed it. Did you have a partner on the deal?
So the one that I did zero down, I actually ended up wholesaling that one to another sub 2 interested investor. That was the single family. On the duplexes, I did bring in a partner that I met through Impact. And that's been a really cool experience because everybody has their strengths and everybody has their weaknesses. And if you can find somebody that you guys have the opposites essentially and fit together, it's a beautiful relationship. And so that one, I did end up bringing a partner on the duplexes where I said, look, here, I'm going to bring this really awesome deal because I was going to assign it first. So I cut my assignment fee on it and had that as my contribution to the property. Also being a listing agent or an agent, when we go to sell the property, I can take out any commission there as well. So that was how I was able to contribute to the partnership without actually having money out of my own pocket. And then the partner came in, was able to get the property with me at that rock bottom price because I took out any fees. And so she brought the funds to close and pay the seller the equity.
Wow.
How we structured that one was kind of cool. I ended up making that a note back to her to incentivize her to bring that money. And then she's covering the renovations for the property in exchange for me bringing the assignment fee, cutting that out, and then listing the property. And Zach's doing my husband's doing all the work on it. So it was cool. We were able to kind of combine forces. She brought the funds. I brought the property, the skill. I'm managing everything. Zach's doing the work, and we're all happy and added 4 units to our portfolio.
Awesome.
Did you put those into like an LLC, or how did you structure that?
Yes. So we formed an LLC together where both of our LLCs own the new LLC. Now I've gone to Randy's seminar and I'm working to get it into a land trust to add on top of that. But we did this prior to me finding out about that. So yeah, we just came together on an LLC. My partner's husband, he's been an amazing resource because again, this isn't my strong suit, but he does the books and the accounting aspect. So I am learning a lot on that side of it. I'm the visionary. I'm like, let's just do the deals and get it done. And then he's the integrator that's like, okay, but this is the back end to actually make it work. So he's helped tremendous. So it's kind of been this 2 couples together and everybody has their contribution. It's been a really beautiful thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool.
So with that, what did you what do you think you're learning out of all these different projects? How is that gonna expand your business as you go forward?
So I'm learning. I've had hesitation. I've always had the desire to really make my full-time gig being a real estate investor. Because it's been my background, I felt a little bit pinned as either a realtor or a wholesaler. And I've just been hustling deal after deal with this desire to build a portfolio, but there's fear. There's fear stepping into that new realm. So the biggest lesson is, the saying, feel the fear and do it anyways, is just, it kind of worked out that it made me do it. I couldn't say no, it just worked out. So really pushing through those fears. If you feel like you're studied well, the numbers make sense, it all looks good, just jump over that fence. Just go for it. And it ends up being really well worth it. And then combining the resources, knowing what I'm good at and what I'm lacking. Instead of I'm listening to a really good book right now called Who Not How. I cannot remember the author's name, but it's amazing. And it's that you fill in the gaps. If you're procrastinating on something or you're lacking on something, it doesn't mean you need to go take all your time and learn that. I mean, somebody else already knows that. And you need just to bring in the who's into your life to create that whole picture. And so that's been a real life lesson, is bringing those people in, which have been my partners, to allow me to, even though you're splitting it, you're gaining so much more than trying to go it on your own. So collaboration and, coupling skills has been a huge lesson.
Wow.
That's very
That's
great.
awesome.
Good deal. Good deal.
I just have one last question, April. Are you going to Cancun with us in September?
Ah! Oh man, it sounds so tempting. I haven't completely ruled it off the list, but between business and kids and life. I'm gonna see if I can fit it in, but it sounds amazing. I know I've missed it the last year or two as well.
Well, I can
Fair
tell you from
question.
experience. Go ahead, Renee. I'm sorry. So,
I said it was a fair question. I want to get
it
to know
is.
this lady better. This is
Yeah.
exciting.
They have
So
really
if you being a realtor and being an investor, if you really want to expand your business, plan a vacation.
Right?
That's when everybody comes out of the woodwork right before you
Everybody
leave.
calls.
Yes.
Everybody calls.
You.
So,
True.
good deal. Good deal.
Right.
So segueing into that, go ahead, Doug. Did you have a question?
No,
Cancun has a
I
lot
was just saying,
games. And you can take the kids there, and the kids have a lot of fun there. They have special programs for them all day long.
That's
And
what I was hearing. There's babysitters there. I was like,
babysitters there too, but they have actually kids camp where they do things with the kids, and the kids are having a lot of fun. I looked at the pictures and go like, wow. But I'm adult. I
Yeah.
have fun. So, but the kids really have a lot of fun there too, and they can, they really gonna be entertained. So even when you have fun and you learn more and you're gonna spend more time with other investors and grow,
Yes.
they can have fun and they can come back to you and say, hey, thank you. I had a lot of fun today.
And I love the idea of the spending the time in that environment is different than the other environments. It's more intimate. You can get to know each other and build the relationships more. And that is what really draws me. Plus the beach, of course.
Absolutely.
It's a nice bonus.
And it's tax deductible if you talk to your CPA.
That's
I'm
right.
not a CPA, but yeah, we've been doing this for many years.
You don't talk to her.
And yeah, and this is a special year because we've never really had a per se keynote speaker.
Mhm.
And this year we're bringing in Coach Michael Burt. And he is, if you've not had a chance to see who he is and what he does, he is just one phenomenal person. He charges 25 grand a day to
Wow.
mentor people. And him and his wife are coming in. And on top of that, we have another dozen or so speakers that will be at the Cancun trip. So that's an exciting area there. But before we get really into Cancun, I want to just go back to your sub twos and to your investing and what you're doing. Now you've got, I know you've got a couple of buy and holds that you've done.
Mhm.
You've got one there in Mineola that we talked about, and you've got that now. You've got the 2 duplexes.
Mhm.
What is your goal on how many properties are you hoping to bring onto your portfolio as you go along?
The goal for this year is to bring on another 10. I don't have a limit for the number that I want to bring on. I feel like I want to continue to just keep moving the goalpost, graduate into multifamily as well. So yeah, I want 10 more this year. We're looking at an RV park right now, or actually a mobile home park / RV park in Tyler. So that could get me right to my goal because it's more than that number of units. But really, my goal is beyond the financial freedom. I want to teach my kids how to do this, how to still have a life and make money and do what you love and have the quality of life. And so that's where I want to keep adding and growing with that, but specifically 10 more this year. And then I want to do 50 next year and keep growing. So I'm on a rapid pace right now.
Now, are you doing are you self-managing your properties right now?
At this very moment, I'm self-managing, but a huge believer in delegation and the who's, as I mentioned, finding the people that are better at that. Right now, it's going fine. Just with what we have, it's manageable. But knowing in the future as we grow, I want to also, I want to be a quality landlord. I'm not interested in just making the money and providing minimal service. I really like giving these people, like these duplexes you have up here. These were the ugliest ones on the street. I mean, they were horrible. The roof had tarps on them and just not managed well. And it's been really nice to the tenants already seeing the work that we're putting into it and the communication and making a better place for them to be and live. It makes me happy. So it's also soul rewarding work too, beyond profits.
Very good. Very good. So are you doing any short-term rentals, or everything you're looking at right now is long-term?
Right now, everything is long-term. Primarily because I'm unfamiliar with the short-term. It's more of a comfort area for me right now. I do have this schoolie though that I need to turn into a short-term. I need to put it somewhere. So that will get my feet wet with short-term. It's kind of a cool, fun experience for people. So that is one of the upcoming projects I'll do for short-term and kind of learn that side of the business, is renting out that school bus. Okay. Are you familiar with the schoolie?
I am not. Tell us about the school
bus.
Oh
my gosh. I wish I would have sent you pictures. So it's a popular thing. So people are taking old school buses and converting them into RVs. So we did exactly that. We have a 1991 Bluebird, that one of the flat nose old school buses that Zack's a woodworker and can do anything, turned into this beautiful RV. It's got like custom cabinets and pull out beds and bunks and whatnot. And so we use it for fun and recreation, but then it sits there the rest of the year in our yard. So I want to, rent it out somewhere. So that's what I'm trying to find a good spot for it, because I don't want to rent it on my property. My kids are too thick to have people come to my property. So, but yeah, that's
I know that there's over there at the Texas Rose Horse Ranch over there by Mount Sylvan on the Van Highway.
Exactly.
They have a little RV park there, and there's some fifth wheels there that are getting $350 a night.
Wow.
Yeah, just the fifth wheels, $350 a night. So that may be something you might look at, parking there. So that's awesome. That is just awesome. And I know that Doug and Renee and Gabi and Tim both have some Airbnb, some short-term rentals, some medium-term rentals, I guess, on some of those bases. So they're great resources to reach out on both of them, and how that most or best works for them. So
I need to learn. I'm interested.
So on these two duplexes that we have up on the screen,
yes,
were they occupied? I didn't even ask you that. Were they occupied when you got them?
3 of the 4 units were occupied. Yes. The one is vacant. It took on water a few years ago, and the sellers didn't have enough money to turn it over. So it's been sitting vacant for a while. And that's the one Zack's working on right now. So
are your plans to renovate the other 3 units, or just
yes.
leave them?
Yep. So the unit that is joined with the white door on the bottom screen, that one was already renovated. Seller did that one. That was the only renovated unit. So that tenant is going to stay. She's an excellent tenant. The one to the right of it with the black door, that was the empty one we're working on. And then the other ones, they need renovation. So we are not renewing with the current tenants, so we can get in there and spiff them up. They don't need as much. So it's just going to be, some paint, countertops, turnover, but roofs are getting done Monday, and we just had all the trees done. I didn't realize how expensive trees were. I'll tell you that. They are costly items. Right? Yeah. I'm going to definitely start factoring that in when I'm running my numbers on projects, is trees. If they need to be done, that's expensive. So we just got through that fun learning lesson.
I have a spreadsheet that you can use. It's got really everything that you need to make an offer. I know it's not detailed like a contractor would need, but it's good enough that you can put your own numbers in there, and it's got things to do with trees and stuff like that too. So
excellent. I would love that. That would help tremendously. Yeah.
Right.
We'll get it to you, April.
Yes, please.
So on going, you mentioned you were driving for dollars.
Yes.
So tell us how you're doing that. What are you looking for when you're driving a neighborhood?
I am looking for at least 2 distress factors. So overgrown yard, does the roof need to be replaced? Is there peeling paint? Any of those things where you can just tell it needs some love. And then I use the Batch Leads app to actually drive for the dollars. So when I'm right in front of them, I can tell if it's absentee, owner occupied, a little bit of history behind it, and then we'll add it to my list. So yeah, just showing that it's needing some love, and maybe they don't have the funds to fix it.
Absolutely. So we have a question here from Jamon. How do you get these scary buyers off the sidelines without having any inventory for owner finance deals? So I'm not quite sure about that second part of that, but let's talk about the first part. How do you get these scary buyers off the where any of these not buyers, scary sellers, I guess. Did you have any? I know that the duplexes, I think it was, you and I have talked about it. She had some questions about the subject too, and how protected she was and what her risks were. So how did you give her a comfort level on that?
So I think what ultimately helped her understand her protection was a couple factors. We did the deed in lieu of foreclosure in our subject to agreement, where if we didn't make the mortgage payment by day 31 of its due date, we would automatically execute a deed back to the seller. And what helped me was, because these were some of my first subject twos I'd actually closed. What helped me, number one, was Roger. He's amazing and was a huge help on that. But number two was having been pretty well studied via information, Roger, that you have or that I could find on YouTube, to be able to confidently articulate to her that I knew what I was talking about and that I knew I could protect her via, one, the deed in lieu of foreclosure. Number two, we agreed, this isn't necessary, but we agreed just for extra factor that we would hold at all times 3 months of mortgage payments in a bank account. That anytime it was our bank account, we would select it, we would fund it, but at any time she could ask to see it and see that there was enough money in there to cover 3 months. So that helped her tremendously. And then the line you gave me, Roger, which I will use going forward, is, look, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, we're investors. We're going to come in and renovate these properties and put a lot of money into it. I'm not going to let it go back to you. I'm not going to not make the payment with all my money sitting into it. And let's say, worst case scenario, I get abducted by aliens. You get to take back in 31 days this property that we've put all this work into. So all of those factors really helped to, calm any of her concerns and realize that she did have a lot of protection in the deal through those things that I mentioned.
Very good. Very good. So, so these other ones that you're negotiating with her, so she's very comfortable with everything. Are you going to have to bring any cash to the table? There's a lot of equity in those, or how's
There's
that work?
minimal equity on those. And so there will need to be cash. And all of hers were through the same bank. So it was really easy to work with her again. The bank that she had, this seller, she has a brother that's a realtor, 3 brothers that are attorneys. She has 10 siblings. One that's an insurance guy. So she had a lot of outside advice. You guys probably know, in doing deals, everybody knows somebody that's got an opinion on how it should go. So she had a lot of those opinions that we had to jump through. Roger, you got on one of the call with 2 of the siblings talking about it. And so we had to really, make her feel comfortable with that. But since we did it already with these next deals have just been really easy. Through the first deal, though, she wanted to talk to the bank. This part I got a little bit scared about. And Roger, we had talked about it, is she wanted to confirm it was okay with the bank. Everything that I had understood was that's kind of a no-no. You really want to just keep the bank out of it. Know that everything you're doing is legal, but it may overcomplicate things if they talk to the bank. So I expressed that to her pretty much that way, that, look, I can't stop you. If you want to do it, it's fine. However, if they start adding fees or requirements or whatever, we haven't agreed upon price and term, that's going to have to come off of your end. So knowing that it's up to you if you want to do it. So she did end up talking to the bank, and much to my surprise, they were totally fine with it. This was Gilmer National Bank in Gilmer, and had no problems with it, and have worked with us so seamlessly throughout this whole process. So that was a huge relief. Even, you know, presenting it to them, they made it super easy.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. So, well, good deal. That's, I love your stories. I love your your aggressiveness, I guess. I can't say assertiveness. Of how you're making this happen, how you're actually taking action and making and looking for opportunities that are out there, looking to solve problems. You know, and most of my deals that I've done are referrals from other deals that I've done.
Yeah.
People are happy with how we make that happen. And you know, we're excited about you know, solving problems. And when you get excited about that, people seem to put your name out there and make other things happen. So
You're
well, good
really
deal.
hitting it. You're really hitting that. If I could drive anything home, that's the most important part is, like you said, most of your deals now come from past sellers. If you can really, I learned this in early real estate sales. They called it commission breath. Don't go in there just like, I just want to make all this money, and how can I get the listing at whatever cost? If you can put that aside and just truly know and understand from hearing other investors' experiences that if you really go in there to help them and solve the problem, call it karma, call it whatever you want, it's going to work out so much better. Whether it doesn't work out on that deal or it does, it's going to be the future referrals that you are really there to help people. It's going to grow your business so much more. So
Absolutely.
I just reiterate that.
Absolutely. So yeah, we you know, and I built friendships of people that I've done these things with, or these subject twos with, and other purchases too. Not all of them are subject twos, but I built some great relationships there. And you know, I get that call on a pretty regular basis. Are you still doing that real estate thing that you do? You know, that thing. And yeah, and it's just you know, I've got a neighbor, you know, that has this, and like I say all the time, as birds of a feather flock together, and whatever that saying is. So but good deal. Congratulations on what you're doing there. We would love to see you on the Cancun trip. Just to say a little bit more about that is we're going to be doing the Cancun trip in September, September 20th through the 24th. This is about our 14th or 15th year to do a getaway. We've done, but this is an all-exclusive resort down in Cancun. It's called the Dreams Riviera. And I'm telling you, when we go to these resorts, there's nothing undone. These are 5-star class 1 resorts, 24-hour food. You never pay for anything while you're there, unless you're doing an excursion or something like that. Or I guess paying for a babysitter. I don't know how that works, but it is, we have such a good time. We build those relationships. Once again, we're going to have Michael Burt, and really look him up, really look who he is and what he does. He is just, he was he won state, coached a basketball, women's basketball team. I believe it was a college coach on that. If I remember right, it's been a while since I've seen that particular video of him, but he is just a phenomenal all around life coach, and what he does, and the one, like I said earlier, he charges $25,000 a day to sit down with him to do this coaching, and he's known all over the world. He is just phenomenal, and of course we'll have Randy Hughes back, and we'll have, you know, all us other real estate trainers. We all have our little areas that we train in and what we're doing. So the first day that we're there, we're going to be doing some pretty extensive training. Going to hear a little bit from Michael Burt. Then we're going to do our excursions, you know, in between on the next day, and And then on Saturday, we get about half a day. But that's when Michael, Coach Burt, is really going to go into detail on this. And for anybody on this call, you get a discount if you go to one of our meetings. We'll give you a code to get a discount on what this is on the trip and or on the resort. And we, if you're a past student or if you've gone to our events, you get a deeper discount. So that's what we're for. People that come to this build relationships, long-term relationships. Doug and Renee has actually had a speaker come in from Oklahoma City that they met on the getaway. He's another investor. He's a young guy. He's really, really aggressive on what he does. These relationships that we build are lifelong relationships, lifelong friendships. And so we really encourage everybody to look at that. Our website on that is mastermindgetaway.com, mastermindgetaway.com. And if you come to one of our meetings, we also have the opportunity for you to register for a drawing. Not only the drawing do you get the trip, but on the drawing you get all the airfare, the transfer fees. You get private dinner with Coach Michael Burt. You get a getaway, an excursion on a yacht with Coach Michael Burt and other investors. And so you get to spend the day actually with Coach Burt and others. So we have that in the drawing, and where you can enter that drawing as many times as you want to per each time you come to an Impact meeting. We have about a dozen meetings a month that you can be a part of, and we're going to be where you can register for that drawing. We're going to have that all the way through July the 20th for the drawing. If you have purchased a getaway, purchased your ticket, and you win the drawing, you get reimbursed for your ticket you purchased. So there you go. We make that happen for you. The drawing is going to be at the end of July, but we really encourage you. We sell out every year, and and we're already. I got a text from Karen this morning. I think it was. They've already got 20 people for the yacht, so it looks like the yacht's probably going to be sold out. Is that right, Renee?
Yes, 20 people for the yacht already.
So it's selling out pretty darn quick. We see these tickets.
You did mention that it was like a $10,000 giveaway.
Right.
Like the value of $10,000. They get their air flight for free. They get this yacht event for free. They get dinner with Michael Burt. I mean, so many awesome things that the winner of this is going to get. Not to mention 5 days in Cancun.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
Right. So it's the if you go and you don't on the standard ticket, it's not $10,000. So we don't. That's not even. We're not even. It's way less than half that. So it's a great economical deal. Once again, September 20th through the September 24th. It is phenomenal. Beach resort. I don't know how many acres, but the Dreams resorts have like 20 locations in Cancun and other parts of the world. And like I said, 24-hour food, alcohol is free if you're into that. The beach, they've got an ice cream parlor. They've got, karaoke that we do. By the way, Renee is a phenomenal singer. Really is. And Doug's not bad either, but Doug, your wife is phenomenal. So, and she comes from good genes on that. So, she comes from good genes. She did a lot of Christmas songs at Christmas with her mom, and that was really special to see her put that together. But we have a lot of fun. We just do things. We two of Tim and Gabi's students, they did the parasail thing, and while they're up there, they have their phone and they're filming a water spout or tornado that's like just a couple hundred yards away from them. Wow. How interesting is that? We had a couple 2 years ago that actually got engaged in a cave that's a restaurant.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome on that. And but we have just so much fun on this getaway, and we really encourage you to come to our meetings. So we have, just with Tim and Gabi and myself and Doug and Renee, we have 3 or 4 meetings in the next 2 weeks. Tim, your meeting is going to be Tuesday night, the same as mine in Lindale. So
Yes.
Wichita Falls, is that right? Wichita Falls is
Yes,
going to be Tuesday
right.
night. And then I have mine the same night in Lindale. You can find all these on you find them in on realimpacttraining.com or on meetup.com. And then Doug and Renee, you have yours the following Monday.
A week from tomorrow.
And then in between on Saturday, I have we're going to do a property tour in Tyler, and just a networking breakfast that we do on that Saturday. So we really encourage you to take a hard look. Everybody on this call, take a hard look at what we've got there. Let me see if I've got anything in the messages that we have.
I think Doug had something, Roger.
Okay, Doug.
Yeah, so I remember Dennis telling the story, and I'm sure that he got it from somewhere, because he's like me. He has to pull in things from other places. But he told the story about a lumberjack that this old lumberjack would go through, and he was a really good lumberjack, but there was a younger lumberjack that thought, oh, I can probably beat this fella. I'm much younger. I know I'm faster. And the competition started, and the old lumberjack would chop a while, and then he would sit down a while. And the young guy, boy, he kept plowing through, chopping away. And the older guy would sit down again. And I don't know how he's, just taking all these breaks, think he's going to win. So by the time that the competition was over, they counted, and the older lumberjack beat him by twice as much. And the younger guy walked over and said, how did you do this? How is it possible that I plowed through these trees and you still beat me? He said, well, when you saw me sit down, I was sharpening my axe. And that's what we're doing in Cancun. We're sitting down for a little bit to sharpen our axe.
That's it.
And not to mention the valuable information that I got last time. I was working on a deal when I left town, and I got there and I talked to Dennis for about 30 minutes and came home and adjusted some things on my deal, and I doubled my profit.
Yeah.
So it's worth every penny.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't matter how much it costs. I got to go because it just makes me money. So,
Exactly.
there you go.
Absolutely. Good deal.
Yeah, we have
Good
one more.
story.
Yeah, we have also one more meeting on the 12th. We're gonna be in Bedford with Vivi and David.
All right.
Oh,
We're gonna be speaking
excellent.
down there, and then we have on the 19th we have a meeting in Denton. So don't forget that one.
All right. Good deal. So any of those, you can go to realimpacttraining.com, pull up our meetings, or meetup.com. Just type in impact. We're there. So we look forward to seeing everybody. Once again, you come to our meetings, you sign up for the drawing. Right now, we've got about 200
Make it
people
good.
signed up. So you got a pretty good chance of winning that drawing if you're there. So once again, April, thank you so much for
Yes.
your wisdom and your insight and your hard work and making that happen to prove to everybody that this can be done, right?
Absolutely.
So make that happen. And if you want more information, just reach out to us, and we can definitely get you some answers. So Doug and Renee, Gabi and Tim, thank you so much for y'all coming on here tonight. We're going to wrap this up. We're on time. So thank you for being on here tonight, and we'll go from there. Thanks, everybody.
Good
Roger,
night.
send us April's email.
Oh, April, what is your email?
You can use my personal. It's April K Luce, Luce @gmail.com.
Okay,
April
got
K.
it.
Luce at
Thank you.
gmail.com. All
Yeah,
right, thank
you're
you.
welcome. Bye,
All
guys.
right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Running your own real estate investment business can be stressful, time-consuming, and difficult to manage. Where do you start? Why go out and try and reinvent the wheel when we have the answer? With our exclusive training program, we will teach you how to free up your time to build your business, develop your goals, learning where to find the money, how to find better deals, keeping track of offers, building a team, and developing a business plan that works for you. We at Real Impact Real Estate Training and Mentoring have all the answers for you. We have several plans to help you get your business to the next level. We have developed the best one-on-one personal training system in the industry. We have a proven structure that has been developed for more than 50 years through the purchase and sales of thousands of homes and commercial properties. We will help you set up and build your real estate investment business. Whether you are new to investing or you are a seasoned professional, we have a plan for you to customize your business to a method that works, is affordable, and fits your budget. With training modules like finding money, finding deals, learning how to get correct comps, building a team, short sales, subject twos, foreclosures, making multiple offers, understanding auctions, REOs, and tax sales, working to build your construction team, and finding sellers and buyers. Find your property management team, plus over 70 additional training modules to choose from. Sit down with us for a one-on-one consulting to see what training plan is best to develop your goals and to build your business by using the 5 M's of investing: mining, money, maintenance, marketing, and management. Wouldn't your life be great if you can live it on your own terms? We help you develop and structure your business to take massive action. Join the Real Impact Real Estate Training today. Change your life today with real estate investing.